Right here in front of me is Sony's PlayStation 5, the futuristic looking embodiment of next gen, which, believe it or not, launched into the world 6 months ago. Now, before we were introduced, Sony's latest was being built up as this monumental upgrade, as big as a jump from 2D to 3D. Yet now that we've had a bit of time to test out the console and more importantly play some games, how is this giant boy shaped up over the last 6 months? Let's just cut through it all and say PlayStation 5 is phenomenal. This behemoth, while grabbing your attention with its eye-catching design, will fade away in every other aspect as it lets the games shine. Gone are the Boeing 747 memes pertaining to disastrously loud fans, which made it impossible for me to play really anything without headphones. In its place we have a truly whisper quiet console, and yes, I really do mean whisper. The loudest this thing is going to get is when the disc physically whirs as the console quickly reads it. Now, I have heard from other members of the Play team that it can make a little bit more noise depending on the console, but for the one I have, it is as quiet as a mouse. When you first turn on your console, you're going to be hit with this newly designed menu system, which can be a little confusing to start. So much of the PlayStation 4 menus just worked and made sense, but simply weren't fast enough. The PS5 menus, on the other hand, are blazingly fast. I still find myself getting caught off guard by how quickly people can join parties and the fact that SharePlay is actually usable. But I would be lying if I said I still don't find myself getting a little confused about how to join open parties, get to messages, and I think I'm still to turn off my console without actually looking at the screen, which I done all the time on my PS4. There are some obvious upgrades in place, and it's nice that I can scroll through the PlayStation Store quickly while waiting in the lobby or jump from one game to the next within seconds. It just needs to iron out the kinks a little. Oh, and that suggestion card thing, yeah, I've never used that. But let's get to the big selling point, SSD. I can confidently say that 6 months later, loading speeds are still as impressive today as they were upon first launching a game. When that 2D to 3D jump was mentioned, this is what it was referring to. If you die in Returnal, there's a 5 to 10 second cutscene that would be impressive on its own, but you can actually skip that cutscene. The PS5 even boosts times of the PS4, so you can load into Destiny within a minute. You can actually spend more time playing Bloodborne than waiting to play Bloodborne, and it wouldn't actually be quicker to walk to LA now with the load times for GTA Online. But this feature trickles its way down beyond just how quickly a game can boot up. Menu access is instant, games run at stable frame rates, and even when Returnal or Miles Morales or Demon's Souls throws everything they've got at you, the PS5 just strolls along like nothing even happened. And I have to carve out some time for my guy, the DualSense controller, which has proven itself to be far from a gimmick. I turned off the adaptive triggers for Cold War after my first week. Now, I get annoyed when a game doesn't have its implementation like Warzone. The use of vibrations and triggers is an incredibly immersive element to the PlayStation 5, and when I first felt the pitter-patter of rain at my fingertips when playing Returnal, I was just in awe with what this controller can do. But okay, let's hold off on the praising for 2 seconds to talk about some issues, and there are some. Well, most of this happened within its first week. The PS5 has suffered more crashes in the last 6 months than the PS4 did in its entire 7-year run. A lot of this may be down to how optimization works when playing PS4 titles on the PlayStation 5, but if it affects the players, then, it is a warranted issue. While they are few and far between now, I've still had games like Disco Elysium, Destiny, Demon's Souls, and It Takes Two all crash with little to no prompting. And then we have the games. Yes, undeniably, COVID-19 has had a detrimental effect on the release of certain games, and we are really starting to feel the effect of that now. But in terms of reasons to buy this console from a perspective of the games to play, there isn't much here to warrant it. Demon's Souls and Returnal won't be for everyone. You'll platinum Miles Morales in a couple of days, and Destruction All-Stars is so meh, it's barely worth addressing. We are a few weeks away from Ratchet & Clank. Deathloop is going to be worth the wait, and there is still the hope that we're going to hear news on Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West before long, but as in the here and now, you'll spend most of your time playing upgraded versions of old games or games you could still get on older generations. And let's not even get started on the abysmal amount of storage space and the still unavailable expandable SSD storage. However, I am a bit of a tech head, and even if you are playing old games, I would say if you have the money and the opportunity to do so, this is a worthwhile investment. The PlayStation 5 is a lightning fast beast. Once you work your way around some of the kinks, it cuts away a lot of the time wasting aspects of previous generations so that you can get right to the point and play some games. Yeah, even 6 months on, it is disappointing to still have such a lacking PlayStation 5 exclusive lineup, but the jump from the 8th to the 9th generation was always going to be a gradual progression, and just like the PlayStation 4, when the libraries begin to beef up, this is going to be one of the best places to come for your gaming experience.